Recording in progress.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Bloomington Rotary Club's weekly celebration of service. I'm Steve Wicks, and I'm honored to serve as your president this year. Please silence your electronic devices. We have a full schedule today, so let me get right to it. On this day in history, May 12th, 1978, the U.S. Commerce Department announced that hurricane names would no longer be exclusively female. Marcy Hibbard has today's reflection.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and special guests. We have a lot today. Today is May 12th, and for me, May 12th is a very special day. Today is my dad's birthday. That's my dad. He would have been 90 years old today. This is something, my dad's name was Robert Wayne Hewitt, and he went by Wayne. My dad was a very active Rotarian when we lived in Sequim, Washington. He was very wise, kind, gentle, caring, and a very hardworking business owner. But mostly, he was a funny man. And yes, he really did wear a monocle. I chose today to give the reflection to honor my dad's memory. My dad had been a member of the Kiwanis Club in Issaquah, Washington for many years. But when we moved to Sequim, he wasn't too thrilled with the Kiwanis Club there, so he tried out the Sunrise Rotary in Sequim. He took to the club and their four-way test like it was gospel. He would come back from his meetings and share about the happy dollars he gave because of something special happening in his life. By the time he joined Rotary, I was an adult with a family of my own. I can remember the countless times I would go to my dad with a problem or an issue, and 9 times out of 10, he would ask me, "Is it the truth?" Or sometimes, is it fair to all concerned? Often he would throw in a, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And his favorite question was, will it be beneficial for all concerned? And sometimes he asked me all of them. I used to roll my eyes, but it always made me think. That's what our four-way test does. It makes us think and act accordingly. My dad visits me in my heart every Tuesday, and at the times where I spontaneously think, will this be beneficial for all concerned? I told you my dad was funny, and he was. A member of his Rotary wrote in his memory book, I had the honor of meeting Wayne through our mutual activities with the Sunrise Rotary Gang. He always had a twinkle in his eye and most definitely a quick wit. That's why it always makes me giggle every time we end our meetings with, and fifth, is it fun? He would have loved that and wondered why he didn't come up with it all by himself. Happy birthday, Dad. I love you.
Thank you very much, Marcy. Glenda Murray will introduce some of our guests today. Our speakers will introduce their guests during their portion of the program.
And I welcome all of you who are guests with one of the students. And I celebrate that they're introducing you and not me. So welcome. We do have other guests. Becky Wan, who is the guest of Steve Engel and spouse. Colton Riggs, who is the guest of Claire Kest, who's not there. And my sister Betty Coffey, who is my guest. So again, welcome to all.
Thank you, Glenda. Joy, do we have any guests online?
Yes, Steve. We have joining us Eric Ost, who is a guest of Jeff Richardson.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we have 3 birthdays to observe. On the 15th, Mark A. Winston and Claire Kest, who's joined us today there in the middle table. And then on the 17th, Marcus Whited. And a couple of anniversaries to observe. On the 14th, Alan Barker and Dave Meyer both joined the club 12 years ago. And boy, that was a good day for the club. Tyler, can you go ahead and start my PowerPoint? So I'll start with the somber and the sad. I'd like to observe the death of a couple of former club members, Roger Fierst and David Rogers. And may they rest in peace. And now moving to the happier. We have a little bit of service to celebrate. So last week we did our club drive for the club portion of our annual scholarships. We had a goal starting the day at $900. And by the end of the week, after a very generous match, we raised a total of $5,000 last week. So thank you very much. So help wanted. Our club executive assistant, Mandy Stewart, resigned last Thursday. So we're looking for a replacement. We plan to find someone as quickly as possible. Key is accounting, bookkeeping expertise, above average aptitude for learning and operating multiple software programs, and usual things, personality and character strengths. So if you know of anyone, send the person in my direction. We'll have a hiring committee. We're about to update the job description, which will be very similar to what we used last fall. Also, help wanted, Wonder Lab Summer Blast Off. So the club executive assistant is a paid position. This is purely a volunteer position, and you'll be paid with fun. And what you have to do is you have to assemble this really cool bookmark. And it's so it's Summer Blast Off Wonder Lab, trying to get kids to read during the summer. So the bookmark, once again, has a little light so that they can read in bed when they're supposed to be asleep. So we need people to work shifts this week at Wonder Lab, inside, good working conditions. And then day of. So here are all the different times you can work this week. And then day of, we'll have shifts on Thursday, May 21st, some setup, some helping children assemble their bookmarks, or it might be children helping you assemble the bookmarks, and then tear down. And then you have information on your tables. And then Leslie Kotsinko is chairing. Michelle Cohen is helping. Leslie is over there. So if you want to volunteer, just sign up on your table or see Leslie after the meeting. Sure. Two.
For next week. Second, Excel looking for sign up is for the actual event day. So two separate things. If you are in a brace, maybe you want to be at the reading table. If you are can't make the event but want to still help, you can make the tips.
Okay, so for those online, Leslie told us that there are two different signups, before and day of. The work is a little bit different. The day of work will be outside. They've got a canopy for us, so it'll be good working conditions unless it's 97 degrees. Okay, a few save the dates. So the annual Refugee Summer Pitch-In on Sunday, May 24th. Here are the details here. The details will also be in the roundabout, and club member Cindy Neidhart can help you with more details. And other save the dates, the Chamber Business After Hours. After you're done working your shift at Wonder Lab on the 21st, go to the Business After Hours. We have Meals on Wheels right behind that, a couple of people on the 29th. Then the Beacon Solidarity Sleep Out in early June, the large Teachers Warehouse Supply Drive, and then the Rotary Toast in November. And the Rotary Toast Committee is selling tables. So if you need any information about that, please see me. So this picture, so last week we heard from ROI, Regional Opportunities Initiative, and the second speaker, Jen, played a video. And this is a clip from the video. And one of our members online, Bill Murphy, watching via Zoom, a 55-year Rotarian, noticed something special about this particular part of the video. Bill, do you want to tell us what you noticed?
Well, I was greatly pleased last week when I observed the video, and there was my son, Mark. And Mark is the president of PRD. It's a plastic molding company located in Lawrence County, just over the Monroe County line. He's also on the board of directors of ROI, representing manufacturing. He encourages high school students to pursue careers in manufacturing by providing internships for them. So Vera and I are greatly proud of Mark, and we couldn't get him to become a teacher like his parents, but we're proud of his promotion of education. So thanks, Steve, for showing this.
So anyway, you watch Rotary on Zoom, you may see a family member someday.
Right.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, Rotary 7 areas of focus. I show this slide all the time. And then May is Youth Service Month, and we're here today serving some of our best and brightest youth. And go ahead and turn that off. And then one other thing on the announcements, there is one other handout on your table with about America 250. If you have any interest in that, Liz Feidel has lots more pamphlets in her car. So Liz is sitting over on the far left, back left table. Okay, if I can get Brad Meyer and Steve Ingold to come to the front. So we haven't had enough of these this year. We're having a new member induction. This will be a little bit abridged because Brad, like the rest of us, really wants to hear what the high school students have to say. So Brad Meyer applied for membership in the Bloomington Rotary Club months ago. I'm embarrassed to say his application fell through the cracks. In the meantime, he occasionally attended weekly meetings as a guest of Steve. So finally, we got organized, and in April, the club board unanimously approved his application, and today we'll induct him into the club. A native of Brownsburg, Indiana, Brad Meyer is a seventh-generation Hoosier. He married his high school sweetheart, Debbie, at age 18. Brad and Debbie then attended Purdue together, where Brad studied electronic engineering. After graduation, Brad and Debbie started a family. Brad began a 25-year career in local manufacturing, followed by 9 years as a civilian engineer for the U.S. Navy. A week ago, Brad won the Indiana 9th District congressional primary and became the Democratic Party's nominee for the general election in November. So Brad, on behalf of the board and membership of the Bloomington Rotary Club, it is a great pleasure to welcome you as the newest member of the club. Though Rotary is not a political organization, Rotarians are vitally concerned with good citizenship and election of effective leaders to public office. While Rotary is not a religious organization, it is built on those highest principles that have served as a moral compass for people throughout the ages. Rotarians believe that worldwide fellowship and peace can be achieved when people work together and uphold the Rotary motto of service above self. Brad, you have been chosen for membership in the Bloomington Club because your fellow members believe you to be a leader in our community and because you possess the qualities to champion the message and principles of Rotary. Our community will know and judge Rotary by your character and service. Steve will now pin you or hand you the distinguishing badge of a Rotarian, your Rotary pin. Okay. All of us have limited dexterity, so we're handing him the pin. Fellow Rotarians, please rise if you are able and welcome our newest Rotarian, Brad Meyer. Thank you, Brad, and welcome to the club. So this was a segment I've been trying to work in, and so when I found out Brad would be available today, just jumped on it. Another segment that I've been trying to work in is a DEI update. And club members Lance Eberly, Jim Sims, and Patrick Smith all serve on the Rotary District 6580 DEI Committee. Earlier this year, past club president, past district governor, Lance Eberly, agreed to chair this district committee. And Lance will spend a few minutes to provide us with a Rotary DEI update. Lance?
Good afternoon, everyone. As mentioned, my name's Lance Eberly. I've had the privilege of being a member of this club and certainly stepping into the role of being the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Chair for the district this upcoming year. I really just wanted to take a few minutes today to provide a brief update on diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives within Rotary International and how those efforts continue to evolve. As many of you know, Rotary International recently did announce a change in terminology by renaming the Advisory Council on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion to the Enhancing Participant Engagement Committee. While the name has changed, the underlying focus remains largely the same, strengthening participation, engagement, and belonging throughout the Rotary clubs. I think this is an important reminder that Rotary's efforts in this area have always been rooted in membership engagement and service effectiveness rather than politics or labels. The objective is to ensure that Rotary remains welcoming, relevant, and sustainable for future generations. At its core, Rotary has always been about bringing together people of different professions, experiences, and backgrounds to improve our communities. That philosophy aligns naturally with the idea of expanding participation and encouraging engagement. The several key initiatives with this are, again, expanding participation. Rotary clubs are strongest when they reflect the communities that they serve. That could be in professional experience, age, community involvement, leadership styles, certainly cultural and personal backgrounds, all kinds of things. Many clubs, including this club, have actively worked to attract younger and different professionals and emerging community leaders, and maintaining the traditions of Rotary while we continue to do that. We're also continuing working to improve in our engagement strategy, as reflected in the updated committee name, enhancing participant engagement that really emphasizes the involvement and connection. Across Rotary clubs, we're continuing to look for ways to increase membership participation and improve mentorship activities, encouraging newer members to become involved in leadership, create flexible and meeting times and service opportunities, and strengthen fellowship and collaboration. The goal is simple: helping members feel connected and valued so that they remain active in Rotary. Inclusion is often a big part of that as well, and it's much less about policy more than it is about our club culture. And people stay involved in organizations where they feel welcome, impacted, and heard. Rotary's long-term success, it continues to depend on creating that type of environment where members of all backgrounds and experiences levels feel that they can contribute meaningfully to the club kind of going forward. So plan is simple. We continue to invite newer members into projects, encourage different perspectives, and being intentional about our mentorship opportunities and continuing to support our leadership development. So Rotary continues to evolve just as communities evolve. The challenge and opportunity is balancing, Rotary strong traditions with the need to remain relevant and accessible to all future generations. Ultimately, whether we call it diversity, equity, inclusion, the purpose remains aligned with Rotary's membership of fellowship, leadership, and above all, service, above self. So again, here in the district, we're continuing to basically march forward as we always have. And when I kind of came in, was fortunate to be a district governor, as Jennifer Jones has stated, that we want Rotary to be welcoming to all. So we continue to kind of move forward with that, and certainly would be available afterwards to answer any questions or anything that anybody has. But again, thank you for the time to provide you a quick update of some of the work that we're doing, and we're continuing as a committee to move on, meeting monthly, looking for ways, opportunity to make Rotary more welcoming to all members of our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Lance. At the club level, we have a DEI committee and don't see a need to change that. So we'll continue to roll along as we do. Rotary, we want to look like the community we serve, with a couple of exceptions. One, the people attracted to Rotary have to be above average in their level of care for the community. People who want to belong to Rotary, they want to work at the polls, they want to be Little League baseball coaches, various things. The other is, as an international organization, Rotarians have to care about things overseas. We need to care about polio being eradicated in Pakistan. We need to care about clean water in Rwanda. We need to care about education in Peru. So anyway, doesn't matter if you're a rock rib libertarian, big government Democrat, if you care about the community and you care about places all over the world, there's a place for you in Rotary. So thank you, Lance. Jeff Richardson will introduce our 4 dynamic speakers today.
We need more joy. We need to embrace joy, lift up joy, and share joy. In that spirit, welcome to our club's most joyful meeting of the year, the celebration of our Bloomington Rotary High School Scholarship awardees. A special welcome to the families and teachers of those we honor today, and thank you for your devotion to cultivating intellectual curiosity and integrity. The Scholarship Committee interviewed 9 high school senior finalists this spring, all remarkably talented. Today, we'll hear from the 4 outstanding seniors who were selected as Rotary High School Scholarship awardees. Each will receive a We had a secret match came in just minutes ago. Actually, $2,500. Someday we'll get there. I'd like to have just for a moment the scholarship committee members. We don't have time to introduce you, but if you could just stand or wave, we'd like to thank you for your service on the committee. Thank you. Interestingly, but not by design, this year all 3 local schools are represented: Edgewood, Bloomington High School South, and Bloomington High School North. And 2 are going in-state. Turns out both to IU Bloomington, and 2 out of state. Last year, just for your information, 3 awardees went to Purdue and 1 went to Ball State. So every year it's different. I'm not going to go into long introductions because I want to ensure that we have enough time to hear directly from the students. Each awardee will introduce and thank their guest, and then we'll spend 4 to 5 minutes on what's ahead for them, post-graduation, and any other comments they would like to make. So our first awardee who will speak is Hannah Crane, an Edgewood High School grad. She's going off to Murray State, and she's going to be studying agricultural science. Hannah, please join us.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today. I'm very honored to receive this scholarship. So just want to thank you all for being here and giving me this opportunity. With me today, I have my mom, Lindy, and my dad, Damon. So thank you for their support. So as he already said, my name is Hannah Crane. I'm from Edgewood. A little bit about me. This is my 10th year of 4-H. I'm an active member of Harry Hopper's Rabbit Club, Country Sunshine Junior Leaders, Swine Club, Horse and Pony, and Country Sunshine. I'm going to tell you about one of my most memorable community service projects today, and it was a project I did last year. I created garden kits for Pantry 279, and I applied for and received a $1,000 YES grant through Indiana 4-H Foundation, which funded my project. The kits that I created included a tomato or pepper plant, a tomato cage, a bag of soil, fabric grow bag, plant food, and then a little info sheet. And then I distributed the kits around this time last year and to Pantry 279, which is in Ellettsville. And the goal was to reduce food insecurity in the surrounding areas, give people the opportunity to try something new. And it was also an opportunity to share my love for agriculture, which I'm going into next year. At Edgewood, I'm involved in Student Athletic Advisory Committee, Leadership Academy, National Honor Society, Key Club, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and Mental Health Club. I also run cross country and track. And cross country and track have been a big part of shaping me into who I am today. They've taught me many valuable skills that I will carry far beyond college, even into my whatever I do after college, whether in my job and just daily life. And they've taught me to work towards these long-term goals that might not come easy, but with dedication and this hard work and commitment to my sports and my social life and my extracurriculars in school, those goals are achievable. And this fall, I'll be attending Murray State University, which is in Kentucky, and I'll be running cross country and track. And I plan to study agronomy, which is like crop and soil science. So thank you for having me today.
When I hear these students talk, I have to be kind of reminded that they're just seniors in high school. They're like 17 or 18 years old. They've already done so much. And each one is this way. And our next awardee is Lillian McKaylee and from North. She's also, you'll hear from another person, going to IU Bloomington, and she'll be studying elementary education. Lilia, please join us.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lillian McKaylee, and as he just said, I'm a senior at Bloomington North. Next year, I am going to Indiana University to further my passion for elementary education. I'm very honored to receive this scholarship, and I couldn't be more grateful. And I just really appreciate getting this opportunity. Teaching was always something that I saw myself pursuing. I grew up with amazing teachers in my life. Two of my grandparents are educators, and I looked up to them really, like a lot. I looked up to them greatly. And every teacher that I've had has helped shape me into the person I am today, and I look forward to doing the same for my students. I'd like to shout out my parents and my teacher, Mr. Fife, for being here today to support me. Mr. Fife, one of those amazing teachers. At North, I'm involved in a few clubs. So I'm in Habitat for Humanity. I'm a co-president this year. I've been involved for a couple of years now. It's just a really great way to connect with the community and do things that I'm interested in. And then I'm also in a club called Project Middleway that raises money and awareness for Middleway House in Bloomington and just the domestic abuse survivors there. So we get to do a lot of work for them. And then I also do a lot of things that help me work towards my future of being an educator. So after being a camper and counselor in training at the Boys and Girls Club Camp Rock for many years, I received the opportunity to work as a part-time counselor last summer. And so this allowed me to work closely with larger groups of kids and grow some of those skills that I will use in my career. And the Boys and Girls Club staff provided me with training that will be really applicable to my future classroom, such as behavior management and just like safety protocols that will come in handy throughout my whole future. And just the community at Camp Rock means so much to me, and I can't wait to go back this summer and continue that. Also, this school year, I was placed in a 4th grade classroom for my cadet teaching class. I was at Binford Elementary School, and throughout the year, I've gotten countless opportunities to build my knowledge of the classroom and see all of the behind-the-scenes work that goes into being a teacher that I don't get from the student perspective in high school. And so I've just gotten to build my knowledge of the classroom, and one main project that we did was the kids got to write fairy tales about IU women's basketball players. So they kind of worked those into like a Cinderella story. And yeah, it was so fun to see like their creative minds come to life and incorporate the stuff that they don't usually get to talk about in a classroom setting. And then some of the players actually came in and they got to read their stories to them. So it kind of brought the magic to life. And it was really cool to see the kids' hard work pay off. And they got to go and like shoot hoops with them too, which was fun for them too. But yeah, it was just really fulfilling and rewarding throughout the whole year just to see all of the hard work the kids put in and seeing it come and be put together and seeing it all work out and pay off. I've had really amazing experiences inside the classroom and out, and it really just affirms that this is what I'm meant to do. And I look forward to pursuing it in the future. Yeah. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah, another thread that runs through all of these candidates. I get choked up talking about it. Their love for learning and to share with others. It's repeated over and over, including in the ones that we couldn't give scholarships to. I mean, they were also incredible. That's one of the hardest jobs that we have, is getting it down to 4 people. Our next awardee is Aviv Saraf from Bloomington House School South, going to Duke in mechanical engineering and robotics. Aviv.
Hi, I'm Aviv from Bloomington High School South. First of all, I'd like to thank my family for supporting me my whole life, my mom and dad and my sister who's here today. Next, my amazing AP chemistry teacher, Mrs. Floyd. Thank you for coming here and supporting me throughout the whole year. And so good afternoon, everyone, and thank you to the whole Rotary Club for providing me with this scholarship. I'm very appreciative, and thank you for supporting students in our community. It's truly an honor to be speaking to you today. So I'll talk to you about a couple of my activities. The first one is one of the most meaningful community activities I've done, and it's my involvement in a group through my synagogue called Student to Student. And so through that, with a few other high schoolers, we go around Monroe County and the surrounding area to middle schools, and we talk about Jewish culture and introduce them to, our traditions. And we teach that it's important to be open-minded of all cultures and all people that are different to you. And so many of the schools we visited, we go to middle schools. Many of them had very few or no Jewish students. So us speaking to them was their very first interaction with Jewish culture and Jewish people. And this is incredibly important because it's their first interaction with the whole culture, and we are able to stop to put a face to community and kind of tell them who we are to help prevent the spread of harmful stereotypes and misinformation, especially today with social media. It's incredibly easy for harmful words to spread quickly. And so by speaking to these people, to these students, as students ourselves, we put a human face to a culture that they're not familiar with. And it becomes much harder to spread fear and hatred when you've actually met a group of people. And so this has been the most meaningful community experience that I've done. But on the side of academic experiences, the one that has shaped my my experience throughout high school the most has been my involvement with FIRST Robotics. And this it's a local robotics team that we compete in competitions, and we have students from all the different high schools in the area and middle schools. And so now, as a senior, I've been a student leader on the team, and my role has not only been to build the robot, but also to help newer students develop the skills and confidence they need to meaningfully contribute to our team. And one of my biggest goals as a leader on the team has been to make the team feel approachable and collaborative, especially for newer students who might be intimidated or unsure of their place in the team, as I definitely was when I first joined. And what I value most about this experience doing robotics in high school is that the success of the team depends on not just people's individual skills, but people being willing, mentors as well as student leaders being willing to teach one another and help the whole team benefit. And no one builds the robot alone. The team works together, and every student improves because someone else has taken out of their time to guide them. And so that's what I try to do as a student leader on the team. And so these experiences have shaped my belief that leadership isn't about just having experience and knowledge about a certain subject, but it's about creating an environment where the people around you can really learn and grow all together for the benefit of everyone. And so these two experiences have shaped both my goals and my future plans. I plan to go to Duke University and study mechanical engineering, where I hope to continue working on robotics in particular. And throughout my time in college, I also plan to continue with high school robotics, now not as a student, but as a mentor of local teams. And beyond college, I hope to pursue a career in robotics that help, specifically medical devices that help people in their daily life. I really am incredibly grateful for this scholarship, and thank you to everyone for investing in students in our community. I'm hopeful that I'm able to pay forward your kindness in the future throughout my school and career. Thank you.
Great. So another, not last, but next in line is Halip Patel. And we now have, we've had 3 scholarships. Last year we had 4. It's a longer story, but we ended up with 4. And that was for kids to go anywhere they want to in the country. We still have 3 that are that way, that are wherever you apply. And if you're pass muster with the committee, you're selected. This year, for the first time, we have a standalone award for someone who is from Monroe County and going to IU Bloomington. It turned out we had 2 people going to IU Bloomington this year, which was, again, unplanned, a coincidence, but outstanding candidates. And so Halil is getting the first Bloomington, IU Bloomington award. And congratulations on that. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
All righty, how are we doing, everyone? Good afternoon. All righty. Thank you everyone from this Rotary Club to have me today. I'm honored to be here. And with me, I have my dad, Kalpesh Kumar Patel, my mom, Dharmisa, and my sister, Deep, who I love and hate at the same time. And I also have my favorite teacher. Well, all my teachers are my favorite, but Miss Norris, she's my German teacher, and she's been with me, seen every single one of my crash outs for the past 4 years, and I'm eternally grateful that she's been with me, and I look up to her a lot. Now, yeah. Now, a community involvement that I've had and I am really proud of is something called Global Minds. And it's similar to what you said about teaching people about culture, but I want to tell you an experience that I had that was a catalyst for this all. So me and my sister one summer, we went to St. Louis with the Love the Lou organization. And basically this organization takes you to an underrepresented community where you volunteer. And in this case, we cooked, we gardened, we set up all kinds of community events. And I saw this bridge or this gap between culture and the community that was there in St. Louis. And when I came back, I had this idea that let's make a nonprofit organization with this. And so that brought me to curate Global Minds. And I took one of my classmates and we went to our administrators and they loved this idea. And so with this organization, our entire goal was to spread cultural diversity, because we know statistically that when you're younger and you're exposed to diversity more often, you're gonna grow up to be a person who thinks more diversely, who critical thinks even more, who sees all the global perspectives on an issue. And that is what I wanted. And this is something that I want to take into my career at Indiana University and my studies at Indiana University. And hopefully I do something with nonprofits and yeah. A student activity that I want to tell you guys about is my internship. I interned for the Coffee Corral at Edgewood High School. I don't know if you guys have known. It's a student-led business, and we sell coffee, we sell all types of drinks, all types of, hopefully all types of food now. And as a financial manager, I track our expenses and profits, and I ensure that they meet our margins. I price our new items, pay our vendors, and do much more. But that's all the boring stuff. But with this internship, I have learned so many communication skills, all the soft skills that you don't learn in classes nowadays. And I found a passion for business, and problem solving, and which is why I chose to attend the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University. And again, I want to honor my dad and mom. They immigrated here in 2001. They're from India, and they built everything from ground up. And that is something that I want to take and I want to honor, because that's hard to do nowadays. Like, you can't just come here and do something fresh out of the ground. And it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of bravery. And that is something that with social media nowadays, it's hard to come by. You don't find pure people. And I want to share a quote that I go by. It's called, "You make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give." And I see my parents honor this quote all the time. They are genuine people, and they've taught me that you are the person you are by what you value. And so at the Kelley School of Business, I went to major in operations management and finance, and hopes to be well versed in public policy, and hopefully attend law school, hopefully at the Marner School of Law, and be a practicing attorney. Don't know what type of attorney yet, but that'll come later in life. But yeah, thank you. And I'm honored to be here, and I hope that I as well honor the Rotary Club's values as well.
So let's say congratulations once again to our newest Rotary High School Scholarship winners. So what I'd like now is for the awardees to come forward, please. And we have some time for questions for them. And let's do that. Let's ask them a few questions. All right, please come forward. Or you can stand over here so you're not in the lights on you. How about right over here? We'll also, we do have the checks here. We'll be taking the checks won't be in the mail, they're actually here. And we'll present them shortly, and we'll have some pictures. So please, question, yes, Dave.
I heard social media mentioned a couple of times. So can I have a volunteer that would like to talk a little bit about how in your own life you've balanced the negative and positive aspects of your participation in social media?
Sure. So social media has been a really great and a really bad thing for me in different aspects. On the good side, it's been a source of a lot of inspiration for the projects I do with robotics. And there's so many great ideas that other people are doing that you can take inspiration from social media. And a lot of the time that is what I use it for learning and seeing just great things. On the other side, there's a lot of bad on social media. As I talked about earlier, it's incredibly easy to spread hateful words. And so you just gotta, for me personally, you just have to be careful of what you choose to expose yourself to on social media. And if you choose to use it in the right way, it can be a great tool. Yeah.
Anyone else want to add to that, or?
No, other than that, it takes a lot of your day away. Like, you just like scroll.
You have to go to the mic so that people online can hear you.
I just wanted to say it does take a lot of your time away. Like, as a student, I swear to God, I'm at school and I'm just scrolling sometimes because it sends in, what's it called, dopamine to your brain, and it just keep going. So I guess that's also a con that you have. You just gotta learn to put it away and just focus on what it's at your hand.
Congratulations to you for wonderful students. I'm curious about whether any of you hold jobs outside of school, and aside from that, activities and sports, extracurricular. I heard lots of extracurriculars, and how you balance that with maintaining your academic schedules. I'm just curious to hear how you manage your lives.
So, I work only in the summers, so I don't really have to worry about balancing my work life with school. But I play tennis, and so right now I'm in season, and like sectionals are next week and during finals, so there's a lot going on. But luckily, Bloomington North does block schedules, so we only have 4 classes a day, and it like switches off every other day. And so it helps a little bit with like balancing when I'm going to do my assignments because I know that I have 2 days until I have that class again. So I really just like staying organized and like planning out when stuff is due and when I have to get stuff in by so that if I have a match one night, I can do that stuff before it's actually due. So that kind of helps out a lot.
For me, yeah, I also do run cross country and track, so that's year round. I'm training in between. I have like a 2 week break after each season, but that means I'm training all through the winter and all through the summer. So, I mean, I don't have a lot of free time, but I mean, I enjoy being busy, especially with 4-H. Whether it's club meetings or, organizing these things outside of club meetings, I have those responsibilities because I'm holding these leadership positions in my club. But I mean, obviously, I've learned lots of time management skills through 4-H, and I always say it's like the animals have to be fed, and then you can go in when it's dark and be doing your homework and doing all that stuff. So 4-H has definitely played a huge role in, developing those time management skills, and then also just using your time wisely during school. It's easy to go on social media and scroll all day, which I do sometimes, but I also, have to hold myself accountable and be responsible during school hours so I can have free time after school to do things I enjoy.
Anyone else?
Oh, sure. So time management has been a big struggle for me, especially the last 2 years of high school. I play soccer, travel soccer, or I did play travel soccer. And so my junior year, I was doing travel. I was traveling for robotics and traveling for soccer. And a lot of the time it meant I had to sacrifice one or the other. And eventually this year, I had to sacrifice soccer completely during the spring, at least, for robotics. So I think that's just the nature of wanting to do a lot of things. You have to choose which ones are like most important and which ones you have to prioritize.
The younger generation seems to be more enthusiastic about change than a couple of the previous generations. For all of you, what do you see around you that maybe is something different to encourage change in the world and to make the world a better place without being political?
Well, for me, especially with working with kids, I see a lot of like I think it really inspires change or like inspires me to like want to work for their future as well because I see all of the things that they're capable of. I see all of the things they like doing and the things that they are passionate about, especially the younger kids where they're still excited to come to school, they're excited to learn, they're still like kind of developing their own personalities. Like I think that it like sparks a little bit more like I see more of what I want the future to look like for them. Does that answer your question? Yes. Okay, cool.
Yes, congratulations to each and every one of you. So I would like for you to quickly reflect and just speak to the role that mentoring has played in your lives up until this point. And then as you proceed on through your trajectory, how do you see yourselves contributing to the lives of others as a mentor?
So to touch on that, my biggest mentors have been my teachers and as well as my parents. I feel like nowadays a lot of us teens and younger generations are starting to like get heated in the moment and think of responses sporadically without thinking things thoroughly. And a lot of us take responses way too deep. And so sometimes, all the time, our mentors teach us like to slow down, think about what you're gonna say. And that's always been like a thing that I struggle with. And they remind you, like I know Miss Norris always reminds me, making mistakes is okay. I think a lot of us try to be perfectionists, but that's not how the way life is. You have to be constantly making mistakes to learn and grow from that. And I know nowadays our culture is very like be perfect or you're not perfect at all. And that's not how you should live life. And yeah, and you should always like keep in mind of what others like put others' feelings, like think about what others would feel if you said something to them. And yeah, like put yourself in others people's shoes for sure. That's always been something that my mentors say to me.
Um, for me, the most obvious example of mentorship are the mentors on my robotics team, and they are 100% volunteers, and they give so much time and effort into the team. Uh, and they have been really what's inspired me to continue with the team and want to actually become a robotics team mentor in college and throughout my life. Just the work they give to the team just because they want to is really amazing. You know, spending nights sometimes until like 1 a.m. working on the robot, traveling with us to we all just went down to Houston for a competition and their volunteer mentors just coming with us just because they love to do it, and it's really inspiring. It's been inspiring for me. Yeah.
To kind of answer your question too, is that like I keep referencing 4-H because it's a big part of my life. So, but I have all these mentors that I look up to. I follow their lead and, incorporate their leadership qualities into my leadership qualities. I've been surrounded by so many great people the past 10 years in 4-H. So, and I look up to them. I want to be just like them. And surrounding yourself with people is just with the people with the same goals as you, it builds you up, and it's something I want to continue to do in my future. I want to be surrounded with people that want to make a change in the world. And I see myself after college, coming back to Monroe County. I mean, the 4-H program has been a big support system for me in the past 10 years. So I think I'd probably come back, and whether that's using my education from college to help or just volunteering my time as a leader, something like that would something I see myself doing.
If my math is correct, I believe the four of you would have been sixth and seventh graders when COVID hit us. And I'm just curious to know, do you still take any of those times with you socially, academically? Is there a long-term impact from that?
I believe that yes, there has been a long-term impact. Social or not social media. Um, the isolation that we were in just hindered our learning abilities. And when you're young like that, you need to be tactile with things. You need to have one-on-one communication. And that just really took away communication skills. I feel like a lot of us in my grade don't know like good communication skills, email etiquette, all of that stuff. Like it's just taken away because our time was taken away. And I have a younger brother who was just a child when Corona hit, and I can definitely see the impact it's had on him. It's definitely made him more close-minded than open-minded. And so, yeah, that's very sad to see. But yeah, I do like want to make sure that he's like more open in the world and sees things that he never got to see when he was little. So yeah.
Um, for me, COVID, I think it had good and bad effects. Well, I think the bad was obviously I transitioning from elementary to middle school. I already was switching, like the middle school I went to, only a couple of the people from my elementary school had gone there. So already that I would have to make new friends, but being online the whole year made it even harder coming back in eighth grade, trying to meet new people. And I didn't have, an established group of friends. And so I had to figure that out. in 8th grade and throughout high school. So I think that my life would have looked quite a bit different if, I had had that whole start of middle school in person. And so that was a negative thing. The good thing for me, I feel like it allowed me to have some freedom to kind of find what I was interested in instead of being in school all day, being taught kind of a structured curriculum. I was able to kind of explore things on my own on the internet, find what I love to do, robotics, and watch videos and see stuff like that. So that was one good thing that came out of it for me.
Thank you all. One of you mentioned the concept of doing an assignment before it's actually due. I wish I had known that when I was in high school. So the four of you are going to inherit a world filled with tremendous challenges, but also tremendous opportunities. So thank you for inspiring us and giving us all hope for the future. So in honor of your talk, a donation will be made this quarter to Wheeler Mission. I'd like to thank today's volunteers, Daniel Schlegel, Glenda Murray, Jeff Richardson, Joy Harder, Marcy Hibbard, Bill Oates, Lance Eberly, Hank Walter, Alan Barker, Sally Gaskell, Sarah Laughlin, Brad Meyer, Steve Engel, Jonas Chang, Diana Hoffman. Lots of volunteers. Our next meeting. Yeah, thank you. Our next meeting will be here in the Georgian Room on May 19th, next Tuesday. Dason Anderson, the Limestone Post, will speak to us about stories that inform, engage, and inspire. Please join us. Tyler, if you would share the graphic for the four-way test, and please stand if you are able and join me. Of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And fifth, is it fun? Right here. Go ahead.
And now we're giving out the $25,000 checks.
So